grab her at any time. All right, folks, without further ado, the new, it's been, of course, it's 2 years now, a dear friend, co-founder of ExecuLeaders, a man of action. I mean, this guy does it all. You really got to get to know Mangano, and if you're in ExecuLeaders, or if you're on a lot of our board members will tell you, he's a man of action. He is a close friend, but this guy is doing everything in his power to bring Nassau County back from the brink. Without further ado, I'll let him go over a few more things.
Thanks,
but Mangano.
Thank you, Rich. It's great to be here this morning. Before we begin, Bill Mosley was scheduled to sing Star Spangled Banner, right? So let's have Bill lead us in the Star Spangled Banner.
Folks, the grand little experiment known as the United States of America, 200 plus years later, this is the theme song for our grand little experiment. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Bill Mosley, thank you, and it's great to be here this morning. It's always great to join with Rich Cruz. Let me just say a few words about Rich. I know Rich many, many years, and he is truly, truly the best networker I've ever seen. In fact, this organization was started because Rich was such a great networker. He looked to do it and share how he does it with other colleagues across the island to help, build business and create jobs here in Long Island. Rich, in fact, introduced me to Bill Savino, who eventually I actually, went to work with my colleagues at Rifkin Rowland for 9 years, and I was because of Rich. So I would encourage you in your businesses and to take the time, if you could spend some quality time with Rich. I guarantee he can show you how to grow your business. He knows so many people. He brings them to you. He certainly has helped us in government. He helps many, many businesses and relationships, and he does it in a very relaxed atmosphere, always a chuckle, and you can see how he speaks and goes on, and he's always thinking about how to put people together. So it's never really stated, but Rich, you're a great guy. That's your quality, that's your gift to Long Island, and we do appreciate it. Cheers. Give you a little bit about Nassau County. Obviously, when I took office, facing serious structural challenges. There's many things that hadn't been addressed in the county in decades and decades, and we sought to address those structural problems. Sorry about that. We sought to address those structural problems, but lo and behold, we were also hit with a very bad economy. As you can see, 2 years ago when we were talking about Nassau's problems, it looked like Nassau was alone. But as you read just this week, Long Beach is in fiscal distress. The state of New York is in fiscal distress. Our great country is in fiscal distress. So these are some very challenging times. And in order to address these times, we have to reform government. We have to reform the things that government's been doing because obviously they haven't worked, or we wouldn't be in fiscal distress. We would not have these problems. It's the programs that go unchecked. It's the day-to-day operations that go unchecked. It's the wasteful spending that has gone out of control. And let me tell you, in a bureaucracy that runs very much on contracts and different agreements, it takes, and also requirements from other jurisdictions to make certain changes that impact your government, it takes time to turn the ship around. But that's what we have been doing in Nassau County. I'm very proud of the fact that we have addressed the fact that we need to send a message, certainly to the business community and clearly to our residents, that the taxes here on Long Island are a problem. They are a nationwide problem, and here they're the biggest. We're the highest tax county in the nation, or among the highest tax counties in the nation. So what does that mean? Yes, our residents are having trouble making ends meet. They're struggling to pay their taxes. Just today, in today's Newsday, there's a story about how mortgages are affecting. And taxes sometimes are more than the mortgage payment in these homes. That's the part that people aren't focusing on. So we need to address taxes in order to correct our economy here. We need to send the messages to businesses. If you come here, it's not ever increasing real property taxes. Number one question when a company is interested in Long Island is how much are the taxes and what will they go up to? So it's a very serious question. So we've addressed that in Nassau County. We've held the taxes for the last 2 consecutive years. We repealed the home energy tax, put money back in our residents' pockets. And that's a good thing. It sends a clear message, and I can tell you firsthand that when we speak with companies to come here, they're interested in that. They're happy that we have recognized that. Well, Nassau County is only about 18% of your tax bill. It's a strong message, and we've been very successful with that message in encouraging businesses to come here. We've had over 13 companies that were able to retain jobs or increase jobs. 1,600 new jobs, retained 1,000 jobs in these very tough times. When you read about companies leaving Long Island, we have been bringing companies to Long Island, we've been retaining those jobs. Very important. This term, well, last time we focused on trying to control wasteful spending, and yes, we cut $200 million out of wasteful spending. I reduced the size of government by 1,000 employees, 1,000 employees less. We're right-sizing government. We'll continue to work on the problems and challenges of everyday government. But we also need to concentrate, and that's what we're concentrating this term on, creating jobs and opportunities. Jobs and opportunities. We hosted, for the first time, Nassau County's hosted job fairs. We hosted 4 job fairs last year, since I took office. First job fair, we had at the Cradle of Aviation. 2,000 people showed up 2 hours before the doors opened for 200 jobs. I couldn't believe the line coming in for those jobs. So we continue to have those job fairs and try to help our employers identify job opportunities and then seek to have our residents attain those jobs. We talk to them about how we can help with that. Most of the employees have a central theme: job training and workforce housing. Job training and workforce housing. We have been very successful in the county of Nassau with a very aggressive job training and retraining program. We receive significant dollars through grants through this, and we work with our towns and cities to institute these programs. So if you're unemployed and you're looking to reinvent yourself, contact my office, and I guarantee you we will find you a retraining opportunity in the county of Nassau. We need to continue to do that. We need to continue to address the real property tax issues, and we need to send a clear message that we are working together to welcome companies to our borders so we can continue to grow. Now, you read about all the big companies, and they're important to us. It's important that we have big companies. But 2/3 of the jobs are created by small companies. Small businesses are really the backbone of our economy here in Nassau County. And that's why we try to concentrate and help our small businesses grow. As a matter of fact, over the last 10 years, 2/3 of the job growth has been through small businesses. We've created the jobs that provided opportunities for our residents to grow. So we have a small crowd here. I can go on, and many of you were at the LIA where I gave a very long, thorough speech on the state of our economy, the obstacles that we face with respect as, again, taxation, or some people call it taxflation, ever increasing real property taxes. I think Pearl Klima may have coined that phrase, but it is an eye-opener. Workforce housing, and we've worked hard to sort of create workforce housing, and we continue to do that. But I thought maybe I'd just go around the room, take a few questions, let's talk about what you want to talk about, and see if I have an answer for it. Now, I'm only going to comment on Nassau County, Long Island type issues, so we're not going to do the presidential race and all that. It seems like everybody wants to talk about that. Personal issues and all that side, I'm not doing it. Go ahead.
Okay. So when you talk about taxes, I guess, you can't help but bring in the school, the school taxes. And now we see that our governor is pushing for education reform from Albany. How is that going to affect, or how is that being received by Nassau County?
Well, actually, look, I embrace those policies. I embrace reform because things have not gone right here, and things are not going right. So we need to talk about these reforms. We need to embrace them. Here's the trouble in Long Island. Number one, anything you propose is typically a no. Don't do it. It's no good, and they want to stop it in its tracks. I'll give you a couple examples. Number one, MTA came to me in my, at the very beginning of my term and said, hey, listen, Ed, we need $26 million more to run your bus company, your buses. I said, gentlemen, have not you read the papers? We have hundreds of millions of dollars in deficit. We have serious challenges here. There's no way I could commit $26 million at this time. Let's talk about it. Long story short, we couldn't come to agreements. I said, well, listen, guys, I'll have to go out and see and explore if someone else can do, operate our bus system for what we have, for the dollars that we have. Much like you would do in your home of business. This is how much I have. What can I get done for those dollars? Well, I went and sought out a private company to do this. You think the world was ending. I had protests, just because uttering the words. Protests, labor protests, bus riders. I had disabled people at my doorstep saying I'm ending their ability to get to their health care. And I'm saying, listen, you have to stop, listen, and discuss this subject. I'm not ending it. For our disabled, MTA is ending the paratransit system. We're trying to preserve the paratransit system. We're just looking for another way. So you went through an election cycle. If anybody followed, they beat this to death. At the end, it was unanimously approved. We have a private operator. We saved like $32 million this year. It'll be adjusted in other years, but we saved $32 million this year. The buses are running. We didn't have to cut service by 50%. We didn't have to end paratransit, and we moved forward. You thought the world was ending. I did it again, a public-private partnership with respect to inmate health care. In our jail, when someone was to complain about an illness or need an x-ray or dialysis or any significant or really minor injury or whatnot, they would want to go to the hospital, and we would have to take them. And when we take them to the hospital, we would have to assign 2 correctional officers to stay with them through the entire process. If they stayed overnight, they would accompany them. This was costing us a tremendous amount of money and a significant amount of overtime. So we looked for a way to provide those basic services in the jail. There was an infirmary there that hadn't really been used. We got that going. I instituted inmate health care. You would think, oh, we're affecting all these things and this is a bad thing to do. Why are you talking about this? At the end of the day, we saved $5.7 million so far. 4,000 trips to the hospital have been reduced to 200. And we've saved all of that manpower with respect to correctional officers. And they're in the jail, reducing overtime, doing other things that save us dollars, like $6 million, rather than doing. So you need, in these tough times, to explore public-private partnerships.